did you have a little forecast that you wanted to talk about too in the
For
news here? It was what to expect in 2022.
I mean, yeah. So some of the articles that were sent over, kind of what to expect in 2022. I mean, obviously, we think that it's going to be a more buyer friendly
Let's
market.
get our crystal ball out. First.
Yeah, like things will start. I mean, we see there's a lot of construction going on. Now the issue is
Workers and supply chains.
and then also what type of houses are they building? I mean, most of them are focusing on 3 2s, 4 2s, 4 3s, somewhere between that. I would say 16 to 2,600 square foot house, which is outside of what
on smaller lots.
Yeah, on smaller lots. So again, the affordability of those, it's like, okay, there will be more homes. It's going to be more of a buyer's market. We don't think it necessarily means prices are going to start dropping.
Right.
It'll just mean there's more inventory available. There'll be more time on the market, and you won't have to
bid on
up on them.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, we're also in fall, and sales typically start dropping in fall.
Yeah.
The times on market are longer because fewer people are looking for homes this time of the year because everybody's already in their school
Now,
district.
that didn't occur last year because of the whole
everything
COVID
was messed
situation.
up.
everyone was working from home, and all the students were virtual anyway, so it didn't matter.
So yeah, it's all we have is a best guess.
Yeah, and we still continue to think that we still think the suburbs are going to be the hotter market. Like we think that's going to continue.
We're still going to have higher prices. I don't think the prices are going to increase at the same rate they did this past year.
I agree.
But we're still going to have pricing issues because, listen, we already discussed this. It's taking longer for them to build the homes.
Right.
Yeah.
They have labor issues, they have supply chain issues, and it's just taking longer. So
I think the big changes we're going to see is you're not going to get as many over asking price offers. In fact, you may not even get any. That you may just get what you're asking for. I think you also are going to see sellers having to do concessions at the closing.
Correct.
Where they're going to have to pay a little bit more toward closing costs and repairs and things like that. So for the buyer, they're going to have an opportunity to actually do a little due diligence and choose the house they want rather than throw contracts at people trying just to get whatever they can.
Just trying to get a house. Yeah.
And which it should be like that. It's seriously abnormal right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at some point, I mean, again, these are what we think for 2022. But these, if we get into like quantitative easing, we can't continue that forever.
Right.
At some point,
pendulum has to come
at
back.
some point, this has to switch. Like interest rates have to go up, and if they don't go up, what's the ripple effect from that?
Right.
Not just on our economy, but globally speaking.
Absolutely.
And before we get into our ugly question, I wanted to mention that real estate, as I always feel, is still the best investment, especially since the new administration is trying to pass a tax law that they are going to tax unrealized gains in your stock portfolios. So at the end of every year, you get your statement and you have a gain. They want to tax you on that gain, even though you haven't
it's not in your pocket.
exercised that purchase or sale yet. You don't have that. It's all on paper. Unless they do that with real estate as well, and I don't know how they're going to do that. They would have to apparently have to go off of every time a municipality reevaluates their tax procedures.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do that. So now that said, you can't tax people on unrealized gains if you're also not allowing them to have losses on their taxes.
Yeah, so they're
as the prices go down. So it should offset. The point is, if you owe taxes at the end of the year and most of your money is invested in the stock market, you have to come out of pocket each year with with taxes,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.